Florence Cathedral, formerly the Cathedral of St. Mary of the Flower, is the cathedral of the Catholic Archdiocese of Florence. Commenced in 1296 in the Gothic style to a design of Arnolfo di Cambio and structurally completed by 1436 with the dome engineered by Filippo Brunelleschi. The basilica's exterior is faced with polychrome marble panels in various shades of green and pink, bordered by white, and features an elaborate 19th-century Gothic revival, west facade by Emilio de Fabris. Cathedral complex in Piazza del Duomo includes the Baptistery and Giotto's Campanile. These three buildings are part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site covering the historic center of Florence and are a major tourist attraction of Tuscany. The basilica is one of the world's largest churches and its dome is still the largest masonry dome ever constructed. The cathedral is the mother church of the Archdiocese of Florence, whose archbishop is Gherardo Gambelli. The Palazzo Medici, also called the Palazzo Medici Riccardi after the later family that acquired and expanded it, is a 15th-century Renaissance palace in Florence, Italy. It was built for the Medici family, who dominated the politics of the Republic of Florence. Michelangelo's kneeling windows, a feature later copied by the Medici at their Palazzo Pitti. Also in Florence, the palace was designed by Michelozzo di Bartolomeo for Cosimo de Medici, head of the Medici banking family, and was built between 1444 and 1484. It was well known for its stone masonry, which includes architectural elements of rustication and ashlar. The tripartite elevation used here expresses the Renaissance spirit of rationality, order, and classicism on human scale. This tripartite division is emphasized by horizontal string courses that divide the building into stories of decreasing height. The transition from the rusticated masonry of the ground floor to the more delicately refined stonework of the third floor makes the building seem lighter and taller as the eye moves upward to the massive cornice that caps and clearly defines the building's outline. Similarly, the early Renaissance architect Brunelleschi used Roman techniques and influenced Michelozzo. The open colonnaded court that is at the center of the palazzo plan has roots in the cloisters that developed from Roman peristyles. The once open corner loggia and shop fronts facing the street were walled in during the 16th century. They were replaced by Michelangelo's unusual ground floor kneeling windows, with exaggerated scrolling consoles appearing to support the sill and framed in a pedimented aedicule, a motif repeated in his new main doorway. The new windows are set into what appears to be a walled infill of the original arched opening, a Mannerist expression Michelangelo and others used repeatedly. On his death in 1464 at Careggi, Cosimo was succeeded by his son Piero, father of Lorenzo the Magnificent. The Palazzo Medici Riccardi was built after the defeat of the Milanese and when Cosimo de Medici had more governmental power. Rinaldo degli Albizzi had also died, giving Cosimo and his supporters even more influence. With this new political power, Cosimo decided he wanted to build a palazzo. Unlike other wealthy families, however, Cosimo wanted to start fresh and cleared the site before he began building. Most other families, including those from wealthy backgrounds, built from what was already present. During this time, there was also a concern over sumptuary laws which affected how much wealth one could display or how to display wealth without displaying wealth. Cosimo agreed with this law and believed in this ideal, possibly because of his status within the Signoria of Florence. As Pater Patriae, Cosimo was able to find ways around it through building materials and the idea of having the exterior of the building simpler and modest while the inside was more decorated. It was larger than other palazzi, but its more modest design made it less noticeable. Cosimo's attempts at modesty did not help later on when the Medici family was scrutinized for their political power. Accused of spending money that was not his, Cosimo's house became part of arguments claiming that the Medicis built the palazzo with money that was not theirs. Cosimo and his family had moved into the new palace by 1458, moving from their old palace some 50 meters north, on the same street. He did not enjoy it for very long, dying in 1464. The palace remained the principal residence of the Medici family until the exile of Piero de Medici in 1494. Following their return to power, the palace continued to be used by the Medici until 1540, when Cosimo I moved his principal residence to the Palazzo Vecchio. The Palazzo Medici continued to be used as a residence for younger family members until, too austere for Baroque-era tastes, the palace was sold to the Riccardi family in 1659. The Riccardi renovated the palace and commissioned the magnificent gallery frescoed with the Apotheosis of the Medici by Luca Giordano. The Riccardi family sold the palace to the Tuscan state in 1814, and in 1874 the building became the seat of the provincial government of Florence.